Okay, so I need to tell you something about what's happening on February 11th. And honestly, I think most people have absolutely no idea how significant this actually is. Here's the thing, we're about to witness what I genuinely believe is one of the most powerful cosmic blessings of the entire year. I'm talking about a Venus-Jupiter alignment. But this isn't just any alignment. Both planets are going to be in what astrologers call their exaltation, which basically means they're operating at their absolute peak power. And when that happens, the universe doesn't just whisper opportunities, it shouts them. I know that might sound dramatic, but stay with me on this one, because if you've been feeling this strange pull lately, like something big is about to shift in your life, or you've been getting these random bursts of optimism you can't quite explain, there's a very specific reason for that, and I'm going to break it down for you later in this video. But first, I really need you to understand why this particular alignment is so different from anything else we've experienced recently. Because right now, the universe is literally positioning you for what I'd call a cosmic jackpot. And if you're one of the 3 signs I'm about to reveal, you need to pay very close attention. This is your moment. Now, I want to be clear about something. When I talk about hitting a cosmic jackpot, I'm not saying you're going to wake up on February 12th with $1 million in your bank account. That's not how this works. But what I am saying is that the energy of this alignment creates the kind of friction, yes, friction, that forces dormant blessings to finally materialize in your life. Does that make sense? And here's what really gets my attention. This isn't happening in isolation. February 2026 is absolutely packed with massive shifts. Saturn is about to change signs. There's a solar eclipse coming. The entire cosmic landscape is being rearranged. But right in the middle of all that chaos, on February 11th, there's this one perfect moment, a window. And if you know how to work with it, I really believe it could change everything. The universe is stocking your pantry before the storm. So let me paint you a picture of what's actually happening here, because the timing of this is everything. On February 13th, just 2 days after this Venus-Jupiter alignment, Saturn is going to leave Pisces and enter Aries. And I don't know if you've been following astrology for a while, but Saturn changing signs is a big deal. It's like the universe completely changing the rules of the game. Saturn in Aries is going to be about discipline, action, hard work, and honestly, it's going to demand a lot from us. But here's where it gets interesting. Before Saturn makes that shift, the universe is giving us this gift, this Venus-Jupiter moment, and I think that's no coincidence. It's like the cosmos knows that things are about to get intense, so it's provisioning us, it's stocking our pantry before winter arrives. Whatever blessing, resource, confidence, or opportunity you receive around February 11th, I believe it's specifically designed to carry you through what comes next, and if that resonates with you, you're not alone in feeling this. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and here's what I've come to understand. The universe doesn't just randomly hand out blessings. There's always a purpose. There's always timing. And when 2 of the most benefic planets in astrology, Venus and Jupiter, come together while both are at their strongest, that's the universe saying, here, you're going to need this. And honestly, I've been feeling this myself. There's been this strange sense of anticipation building, like something is about to click into place. Has that been happening for you? What makes this alignment so ridiculously powerful? All right, let me get into the technical side of this for a second, because I think understanding the mechanics actually makes this even more exciting. So Venus enters Pisces on February 10th, and in Pisces, Venus is exalted, which means she's in the sign where she expresses her highest, most potent energy. In Pisces, Venus isn't about surface-level attraction or material desire. She's about unconditional love, spiritual connection, art, beauty, and this magnetic quality that just draws things to you without you even trying. It's like the universe decides you're irresistible. At the same time, Jupiter is in Cancer, and guess what? Jupiter is also exalted in Cancer. In this sign, Jupiter expands through nurturing, protection, emotional intelligence, and ancestral wisdom. It's the energy of the benevolent king who makes sure everyone under his care is provided for. Now, having one exalted planet is powerful, but having two exalted planets forming an aspect with each other, that's extremely rare. This is what astrologers call a double exaltation, and it's essentially two cosmic superpowers collaborating at their absolute peak. But here's the kicker, and this was a huge realization for me when I learned about it. The aspect they're forming is called a trioctile. It's a 135-degree angle. And unlike a trine, which is all smooth and easy and sometimes passes without you even noticing, a trioctile creates friction, tension. It's like a cosmic itch that demands to be scratched. And that's actually the secret to why this works so powerfully. The blessing doesn't just float into your life passively. The trioctile creates a situation, maybe a minor crisis, an urgent decision, a sudden opportunity that requires you to act now. And that friction is what forces the dormant abundance to unlock. Does that make sense? It's like the universe creates a little bit of pressure, and that pressure is what cracks open the door to something massive. The three signs hitting the cosmic jackpot. Okay, so here's what you've been waiting for. While this alignment sends ripples through all of our lives, there are three specific signs that are geometrically positioned to receive the direct hit of this energy. And if you're one of these signs, or you have prominent placements in these signs, I really want you to pay attention. The three signs are Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, all water signs, and each one is going to experience this jackpot in a completely different way. Cancer, the throne of abundance. If you're a Cancer, you're hosting Jupiter right now. It's literally in your sign, expanding your entire sense of self, your identity, your physical presence in the world. And on February 11th, when Venus makes this aspect from Pisces, it's activating what astrologers call your ninth house. That's the house of global expansion, higher education, travel, publishing, philosophy, basically everything that takes you beyond your current horizons. So here's what I think might happen for you. You might feel this intense, almost uncomfortable push to take a risk. Maybe it's a sudden invitation to teach, to publish something, to travel somewhere you've never been. Maybe it's a legal situation that suddenly resolves in your favor. Or maybe it's just this undeniable knowing that it's time to break out of your shell and step onto a bigger stage. And because Jupiter is retrograde right now, this might actually be a second chance at something. A dream you abandoned years ago, a scholarship that comes back around, a trip that was cancelled that suddenly becomes possible again. The universe is giving you another shot. But here's the thing, and I really want you to hear this. The friction of the trioctile means it might not come wrapped in a pretty bow. You might have to make a quick decision. You might have to adjust your plans suddenly. You might feel torn or uncertain, but that discomfort, that's the mechanism of the blessing. Trust it. Pisces, the magnet of desire. For Pisces, Venus is literally in your sign starting February 10th. You are hosting the goddess of love and attraction at her absolute peak power. This is your glow-up moment. You're going to be more magnetic, more charming, more beautiful, both inside and out, than you've been in years. And when Venus connects with Jupiter on the 11th, it's activating your fifth house. That's the house of romance, creativity, joy, children, and speculative risk. This is one of the most fortunate house connections in all of astrology. So what does the jackpot look like for you? Honestly, this could be luck in love, a romantic encounter that feels fated. Or it could be a creative breakthrough, a passion project getting green-lit, an artistic endeavor going viral. It could even be a literal windfall from an investment or something speculative. The fifth house rules that too. And here's what makes this extra special for you. Saturn has been in your sign for the past couple of years, right? You've been dealing with restriction, heaviness, lessons, and limits. But on February 13th, Saturn finally leaves. So this Venus moment on the 11th is like your graduation party. After all that hard work and all those tests, the universe is throwing you a celebration. You earned this. But again, the trioctile means there might be a creative crisis first, or a romantic complication that suddenly clarifies into something beautiful. Don't resist the friction. It's showing you the way. Scorpio, the strategic victor. For Scorpio, you're not hosting either planet, but you're receiving the energy in what might actually be the most purely fortunate way of all three signs. Venus in Pisces lands in your 5th house, romance, creativity, pleasure, and Jupiter in Cancer lands in your 9th house, luck, travel, philosophy, global expansion. In Vedic astrology, these are called the wealth and fortune houses. When they connect, it's literally the signature of providential grace. So your jackpot might look like being in the right place at the right time, a creative project that goes global, meeting someone who completely changes your perspective on life, maybe a teacher, maybe a romantic partner from a different culture, or maybe just pure unexpected luck that you can't even explain. And here's the interesting part for you, Scorpio. You don't have the pressure of hosting these heavy planets. You get the benefits without the intensity, but you do need to drop your defenses to receive it. You need to be open, because this blessing is going to come fast, and it requires you to trust something outside of your control. Can you do that? The announcement comes first, February 7th. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that there's something specific I needed to tell you about. This is it. Before the main event on February 11th, there's a preview. On February 7th, Mercury, the messenger planet, also forms a trioctile with Jupiter. Same friction, same 135-degree angle, but with Mercury instead of Venus. And here's why this matters. I believe February 7th is when you get the announcement. A piece of news, a conversation, an idea, a message. Something lands on the 7th that holds the key to what's going to unlock on the 11th. So if you're one of the 3 water signs, or even if you're not, pay very close attention to what happens on February 7th. What emails do you receive? What conversations do you have? What ideas suddenly pop into your head? Because I think that's the universe giving you a heads up. That's the preview of the blessing that's about to arrive 4 days later. And honestly, when I learned about this, it gave me chills, because the cosmos doesn't just drop opportunities on us randomly. There's always a breadcrumb trail. There's always a sign before the sign. And if you're paying attention, you can see it coming. The retrograde factor. This is about restoration. Now there's one more layer to this that I think is really beautiful. Jupiter is retrograde during this entire alignment, and when a planet is retrograde, especially a benefic like Jupiter, it changes the nature of the blessing. Instead of this being about something brand new entering your life, I think this is about restoration, recovery, reclaiming. It's about getting back something you lost or thought you lost. Maybe it's financial, a tax refund you weren't expecting, an old debt finally being repaid, an inheritance coming through. Maybe it's relational, healing a rift with family, reconnecting with someone you thought was gone forever. Or maybe it's spiritual, rediscovering faith, hope, or optimism that you thought you'd lost during the harder transits of recent years. The retrograde quality makes this feel like the universe saying, remember that thing you gave up on? We're bringing it back, but better this time. And if that resonates with you, I really want to hear about it in the comments. Because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think so many of us have been in survival mode for the past few years. We've been holding on, pushing through, making it work. But we've also had to let go of dreams. We've had to shelve desires. We've had to accept certain limitations. And now, right before everything shifts again with Saturn entering Aries, the universe is reaching back and saying, actually, here's that thing you wanted. Let's try again. What the friction actually feels like. So I want to get real with you about what this might actually feel like in the days leading up to February 11th. Because I don't think this is going to be all sunshine and roses, even though the outcome is positive. The trioctile creates discomfort. You might feel restless, irritable, impatient, like something needs to change but you're not sure what. You might get hit with a sudden urge to do something that doesn't make logical sense, or you might face a situation that feels like a problem but is actually an opportunity in disguise. And here's the thing, this is where a lot of people miss out, because when the friction shows up, they resist it. They think, this feels uncomfortable, so it must be wrong. But that's not how this works. The discomfort is the activation. The urgency is the doorway. Does that make sense? It's like the universe has to create enough pressure to get you to move, to decide, to act, because if everything just flowed smoothly, you might not notice the blessing at all. You might just let it pass you by. So if you're feeling that itch, that restlessness, that sense that something needs to happen now, don't ignore it. That's not anxiety. That's the cosmic jackpot knocking on your door. Answer it. This is bigger than just one day. Now I want to zoom out for a second and talk about why this alignment matters beyond just February 11th, because yes, that's the exact moment of the aspect. But the energy of this is going to be rippling through the entire week, maybe even the entire month. We're standing at this threshold moment in February 2026. Saturn is about to shift into Aries, completely changing the collective energy from emotional processing to action and consequence. There's a solar eclipse in Aquarius coming on the 17th. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction is happening on the 20th. This isn't just an isolated event. This Venus-Jupiter alignment is part of a much larger story, and I really believe it's the universe giving us exactly what we need to navigate what comes next. Because let's be honest, Saturn in Aries isn't going to be easy. It's going to demand discipline, hard work, and accountability. It's going to ask us to step into leadership and take responsibility for our lives in ways we might not be comfortable with. But before all of that begins, we get this. We get Venus and Jupiter at their peak, offering us resources, confidence, love, luck, and faith. We get a chance to fill up our tanks before the journey ahead. And I don't know about you, but that feels like grace to me. Pay attention to what shows up. So here's what I really want you to take away from all of this. Between now and February 11th, pay attention. Notice what opportunities arise. Notice what conversations happen. Notice what feelings come up. If you're one of the 3 water signs especially, you need to be ready to act. This isn't passive energy. The trioctile demands a response. It demands movement. So when the opportunity shows up, and it will show up, don't overthink it. Don't let fear or doubt talk you out of it. Just move. And if you're not one of the 3 signs, don't think this doesn't apply to you. Everyone is going to feel this energy in some way. It might be more subtle. It might show up in the background. But it's there. And the more aware you are, the more you can work with it instead of against it. The thing is, cosmic alignments like this don't come around often. The double exaltation, having both Venus and Jupiter in their signs of highest dignity at the same time, forming this kind of dynamic aspect, it's rare, really rare. And when the universe offers something this potent, I think we have a responsibility to receive it. Not out of greed, not out of entitlement, but out of recognition that we are part of this cosmic dance, and when the music swells, we're meant to move with it. The questions you should be asking yourself. As we get closer to February 11th, I think there are some questions worth sitting with, and I've been asking myself these too, honestly. What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? What dream have I been too afraid to pursue? What opportunity have I been waiting for permission to take? What relationship have I been too scared to reach for? What part of myself have I been hiding because I thought the world wasn't ready for it? Because I think the answers to those questions are where your blessing is hiding. The trioctile is going to create the friction that pushes those answers to the surface. And when they arrive, you're going to have a choice. You can retreat back into safety, into the known, into the comfortable, or you can step forward into the unknown, trusting that the universe has your back. And look, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Growth never is. But I am saying that if there was ever a time to bet on yourself, to trust in something bigger, to take that leap, this is it. The cosmos has literally aligned in your favor. Both benefics are at peak power. The energy is there. The door is open. All you have to do is walk through it. All right, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you and you want to see more content like this, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know. And please, drop your experiences in the comments, especially if you're a Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio. I really want to hear what you've been feeling lately and what happens for you around February 7th and 11th. We're all in this together, and I think sharing our stories helps all of us understand what's happening on a deeper level. Take care of yourself, trust the process, and I'll see you in the next one.